these are the things that you can know your audience, like what they want to get out of it. And I think I have question. We put up the question. We ask his target audience or his target customer is people with depression or anxiety, and these people wouldn't generally comment on a video of his because they wouldn't want their friends to know. So how can Matt King knows that his videos are engaging?
Well, you see, the reality is this, okay? Commenting is just one form of engagement.
Yep.
And I'm going to share purely from a point of having videos up on YouTube, because that's what I'm most familiar with. Okay.
Yes.
And on YouTube itself, there are a lot of different markers you can look at. So in YouTube, if you go to YouTube Analytics, there's a whole lot of things you can look at. Comments is just one marker for engagement, but it's not the only marker. Because in my opinion, what's more important than people writing comments is actually how long they watch that video. And this is actually called the retention rate of your video. So for every video that you upload on YouTube, you can go to YouTube Analytics, look at the specific analytics for the video itself, and you want to go and look at what is the retention rate of your video. That means if you're uploading a video that's 20 minutes long, how many minutes are people watching in general? Do you have a 10% retention rate? Do you have a 20% retention rate? Do you have a 30% retention rate? Because that will give you an indication whether your content is engaging or not. Because people don't have to comment to watch the whole video, right? Especially if it's a topic like what you said, where it's depression and anxiety and it's mental health issues. These are all topics that are very personal. And people who are generally experiencing it would not want to be putting it out there, for the simple reason that, it's something that they are dealing with, and it's not to be put out in the open. Some are comfortable with it, some are not. So you wouldn't expect them to write comments. Some may not even want to ask questions publicly. So this is when I think you also must have that option for people to ask you questions privately. That means don't look at the comment section as the sole marker for engagement. Look at the retention rate, because you want people watching your videos. And the longer people watch your videos, the higher the chance of that video going viral. Believe it or not, and this is an honest fact, looking at the videos that we have and the videos that have gone viral on our channel, and also doing a lot of studying onto success strategies for other YouTube content creators, if you can get a 40% retention rate, 40 to 45% retention rate, that's actually very good. Very, very good. In other words, right, 50% of the people who watch your videos won't finish your videos. So don't get too caught up with that. But if you can get 50%, 40 to 50% people who actually watch the entire video, that's a very good marker. Where you don't want to be at is in the 10 to 20% range. Because again, if you have a 20-minute video and people are only watching 10% of that 20-minute video, that means people are dropping off after 2 minutes. That's not good. That means in that first 2 minutes, people are not getting what they signed up for. They are not getting the kind of information. They're not getting the kind of engagement. They're not getting value out of the content that you're putting up. And they're clicking away, because you know why? They can just do another search and they can get the content that they're looking for. So that is why engagement is so important. And my tip still goes back to get to the point. But more importantly, also make sure you're adding value. If your video is on helping people with anxiety, within that first 30 seconds to 45 seconds, teach them something about getting over anxiety. Let them see that your videos are not about fluff. You're not wasting their time. You are getting to the point and giving them what they came for in the first place. And if you can stick to that formula, trust me, you will get your retention rate. People will watch your videos for a long time, even if they don't engage with the video in the form of writing comments and asking questions. Your retention percentage will still be very high, and your video will stand a very good chance to go viral. So I hope that answers the question itself.
Yeah, I totally agree with Jit, because like I mentioned earlier, the popular social media platform, they have inbuilt analytics, or inbuilt analytics. So look out for that. You, even if you want to know what kind of content that you should put up, do a poll, because when you do a poll, it's only you can actually read the poll.
Yeah.
You can actually read the feedback. So with the feedback, with the poll, you are able to know what kind of content you should actually put up in your YouTube channel, or your Facebook, or your Instagram, because like what Man King say, his customer might not want to
Yeah.
put out the question in the comment.
Yeah.
So give them an option so that they can be private with you. Then you know what kind of video content that you can put up
Yeah. And I
on
suppose this
YouTube.
also comes back to the earlier point which I made, which is knowing the intent behind your video,
Yeah.
right? Because if your
Correct.
intent is to help people,
Mm.
then whether or not they comment shouldn't matter. We should not be on the computer waiting to see, hey, what,
Comment.
how many likes have I got? How many
Yeah.
comments have I got? Then it becomes that in the intent for the video was to accumulate likes and
Yeah.
comments, which is
Yeah.
what's happening on social media these days. We put a photo up on Facebook. Every 10 minutes we are checking, okay, what's the number now, how many likes do I have, how many comments do I have. So, and then we forget of the intent of the video in the first place. It becomes that need, that validation, that external validation, I call it, through likes and comments. And I think that takes away the value from the video. So remember,
Yeah.
we are not doing. There's a right way of doing things, and then there's of course the popular way of doing things, and sometimes the right way may not be the popular way. And for me, it's always been, or at least a principle that's always been close to my heart, and something that we use till today, is to make it about the viewer. Whatever that we're making it about the viewer. I don't care about the likes, the views. Honestly, with Ideas and Inspiration, I was just sharing this today on a Facebook post. When we first started this in 2018, it was never about going viral or getting 200,000 subscribers. We were very happy with 200 subscribers for the first 1.5 years. The show still went on. We still
Yeah.
did our live events. We still produced great quality videos. We had it up on the channel for whoever that found it useful. If 10 people benefited from the videos that we were making and we were only getting 10 views, so be it, because the intent was to help whoever who needed help. It was not about monetizing the channel. So of course, right now, knowing on the importance, or I would say, or the potential of monetizing through YouTube's and advertising. So now, of course, the focus is, of course, how can we make more videos go viral? Because it also allows us to reach more people, help more people, while staying true to our mission, which is to help people and at the same time not earn from the people that we are helping. So right now, we earn ad revenues. So always remember back on the intent. That will keep us on track to what we are doing and creating engaging content.
Let's get into tip number 2. So tip number 2 is very close to my heart, and I actually shared this a lot of times, whether offline or online, and I even created a video on this. Is to be very clear, meaning to say that what are videos without audio?
Okay.
Right, yeah. So it's big, basically I would say that you break a great video with a bad audio, because I feel that audiences are okay, or generally they are willing to watch a low quality visual, but when it comes to audio that is bad, they will just click away, or they just swipe out, and they just don't want to watch your video anymore, because video is a mixture of two elements. It's visual, which is the picture, and also the sound, which is the audio. So it has to be balanced, and I feel that it is very important for me to I personally feel that it's very important for you to invest on good microphones, Yeah, and I think Jit has been investing on microphones for that
Yeah, yeah.
also.
Based on your advice, anyway. I
Yeah,
think
so
you know this. I've been just very happy shooting videos before this just with my phone without
yeah,
even an external microphone. And these days I have stuff like this. Let me just bring it here. Stuff like
yeah.
this. With shotgun microphones. I've got the condenser microphones and all that.
See, oh,
And
a
that's
lot.
all courtesy of you. Yeah, but I think it's important. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right about the
Mm,
audio part, right? It's so
yeah.
important. We can listen to, the reality is this, right? We can listen to podcasts with
Yes.
no video
Videos.
whatsoever and just listen
Yes.
to audio. But can you imagine watching a video
Without
without
audio.
any audio, and to make that worse, no subtitles, no captions at all? So basically you're just looking
Yes.
at people, and their mouths are moving but nothing is happening. And what's
Yeah.
worse
Yeah.
than that, I suppose, is you can hear but you can't hear, and that's bad
Yeah.
quality audio, right? And that's very
Correct, correct,
frustrating.
correct, correct. It's the same if you watch a movie. I mean, I think the audio makes the whole movie better, because you will anticipate in terms of the music. You can feel a lot of emotions just by watching, just by listening to the music or listening to audio. So really, make sure that if you are creating video, just be sure that your audio is of good quality. And whether what type of microphones you should buy, it also depends on what kind of videos that you are creating. Like for example, lav mic, USB mic. So usually nowadays lav mic are all available for both phone, DSLR, and even laptops or even computers. So nowadays it's very, very easy to get, and
Yeah.
it's something that you really must invest on whenever you want to create videos.
The
Yes, go to the
analytics are
analytics.
so detailed, it's so
Yeah.
powerful. YouTube actually tells you everything you need to know about your video.
Yep.
Unfortunately, a lot of people don't utilize it, they
Use.
don't maximize it. You go to your analytics and you can see right away on the graph at how many seconds the graph just drops and it just goes away. So if
Yeah.
you notice that, hey, on average people are only watching 30 seconds, that means you are not getting into the point, you're not giving value. Your videos all the same. So you know what, you may want to try something different.
Yep.
Again, here's one thing, right? Different channels have different audiences, which means different profile of people who are watching their videos. A lot of times, right, you've got to experiment with certain things in terms of how you're structuring your content as well. There's no one size fits all approach, because what works for my channel, the kind of videos that I produce for my channel, may not work for your channel. Some
Yes.
basic principles may remain the same, but the structure may not be different because our audiences are different. So this is where the analytics comes in to look at, okay, you know what, if the retention rate, if people are dropping off 30 seconds into the video, you know what, there must be something I'm consistently doing that all my videos are only 30 seconds and people are dropping off. So that you might want to change that approach, and try something else and then see if the stats improve. If it doesn't, then try something else, do a lot of research, be a student. And again, model excellence. I love modeling excellence, in the sense that I go and look at videos that are getting very high views, and I'm looking at how are they putting those videos together, what is it that I can try to also inject into the videos that we are making. Yeah, so yeah, good job. Please go and look at your analytics, and study the analytics. I look at my analytics every day
Every
these days. For someone who don't even play shares or the stock market, I feel like I'm a stock market person now, because every day I'm looking at YouTube analytics and the ups and the downs.
The message that you want to put across has to be concise and to the point.